Hello everyone, welcome to another interview. Today I have Matt Parrot. Did I pronounce it right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. Okay. Apparently we met at Blackpool. My memory's so bad, you see. We met at Blackpool and we flared together.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, and this is about 3-4 years ago?
Yeah, something like that. I had a big beard back then, so it was quite a while ago.
There you go. That's my excuse.
Yeah, definitely not recognisable now, don't worry.
So the reason I got Matt on the channel is because he started, he's actually doing something that I also did years ago and I'm in love with, which is the beverage industry. I started, as you know, as a bartender, as a flair bartender specifically, and now I do magic. But you combine everything at the moment. You train bartenders. So let's find out about you. On how did you get into magic and bartending and everything? Let's find out that.
So magic for me, I was inspired a lot when I was very young. My dad did a few little simple tricks.
Okay.
And then he sort of inspired me. I then left magic. Then I got into it again through Penn and Teller.
Oh, okay.
Which is quite interesting as well, because obviously Penn is a juggler.
Yes.
And he got into magic because of juggling as well, which was this weird thing. Whereas I ended up getting into juggling because of magic. Mm-hmm. So I was a juggler. Okay. I worked for a circus company. I actually owned a circus company for a while. But a circus performance company. I didn't run full circus. And then my ex-juggling partner was a bartender for TGI Fridays.
Right.
And he was going into management and he asked me to come for an interview.
That's how you got into it.
Yeah, so in my interview with the management, they asked me to do magic. So on Saturday night, I was ending up doing magic on the tables and the TGI Fridays. And I'm like, oh, come along, because we know you'll practice the flair and we know you'll learn the cocktails.
Perfect, yeah.
So that's how I got into it. And then obviously, having a magic background, the juggling background, I was like, oh cool, let's make some money from this. Yes. So then I started throwing bottles around and had good friends who inspired me as well, who you know some of, like Brian Sanderson, who I mentioned before. And that sort of just developed me from there.
Now, do you combine flair and magic together?
Bits of it, yes. So I have been pressured, I would say, and correctly so, to write a show that is magic and bartending combined. Which is
wonderful. That is wonderful. I want to go and see the show.
Yes. So what I did is late one night I had a few old-fashioned cocktails. Yeah. I got a massive whiteboard out, which is how I develop all my magic.
Excellent.
And I went magic bartender in the middle. Big thing of what objects do I have on my bar as standards? Yeah. What can I do with those objects? Yeah. What do I already know that exists? Stuff, including your stuff, that is actually on there from your visualized DVD.
Thank you. Thanks for the
tiny little plug for you there as well.
Thank you.
And then, just developed it from there. And then I went, right, what can I do? What can I create? What do I need help with creating? And then fortunately I have good friends. One of my best friends is Alan Rorison. So I just sent him a message going, can you make this? And he went, yep. I was like, sweet, that's happening. And that's sort of how I've combined it in the end.
Excellent. I always tell people, combining two different art forms is the best way, because now you've got a unique act. Yeah. And I like what you mentioned with the board and you wrote bartending and magic. That's a great advice to you watching at home. If you want to write a show, start, that's a good way to start with a few old fashions.
Yeah, definitely.
And then have a board and start writing things of what you know, what you don't know. That's great advice. So now you work for TGI Fridays and then you open different things.
So I'm a NSO coach, which is a new store opening coach.
New store.
And they send me up and down the country to open new TGI Fridays. So currently I'm working in Thurrock, opening Lakeside Quay, which opened today. Okay. I'm not there. I'm not there.
I guess the magic circle's more important, eh?
No, they wanted me on their harder days. I'm there for the weekend.
Good.
And I trained our bartenders. I showed them how to flair. I showed them a bit of magic as well, because that's great for the guests and something unique I can give them. Yeah. And then I'm also last year I got into our final, as you're aware, but the viewers might not be. TGI Fridays holds the world's largest annual bartending competition, and I got to the UK final. So that's amazing. Officially, I'm one of the top 5 bartenders in the UK, which is a scary thought. But in that, we have to compete and perform and make drinks for the exec team in front of about 400 people, all TGI Fridays people.
Yeah, wow. It's kind of like doing an exam at the Magic Circle when you perform for these 50 people who are all magicians. and they're judging you. So very quickly, what are the judging criteria? Do you get judged by taste? That's
okay. So you make 4 drinks.
4. Wow.
Yes, they decide 2 based off a list of I think it's about 20 drinks. 1 blender, 1 mixer, and then you decide 2 as well.
Okay.
You don't know what 2 they're going to select until you are on the bar.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Then you have to make it to recipe, obviously. Yeah. You get marked on that, then you get marked on did you make it in the right order, and then performance is one of the big things.
Oh.
Obviously with TGI Fridays, it's all about the performance, the showmanship.
Yes.
So that is a big thing, and obviously I was able to bring the magic to that as well, which was unique.
Yeah. There's no one else doing magic pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, TGI, I remember back in the day, we used to have a lot of bartenders doing, well, a few magical things, like putting a big straw out of a bag or something. That's great, but you know what? I think that adds such a nice touch to anything, because back in the day, I used to be a flair bartender. Well, really, the flair could be magic, could be, you know, most people talk about flair as technical, flipping things around and stuff, but really, I think it's all about the entertainment. It's about a cocktail is, you know, you smell a cocktail, you taste the cocktail, and visually it needs to look good, but also the presentation on how you make it plays a big factor in the drinks industry, cocktails especially. And I think TGI Fridays is one of the leading companies that does this.
Yeah, absolutely. That's for us why there is that such big focus on everything, and that's why I bring the magic to it as well. What I said to you before is that's why I focus so much on the magic rather than throwing the bottles around, because whilst I can do that, I knew that I was one of the only people who could do it to a certain extent. So I wanted to hit big and I wanted to hit hard. So for example, the first thing I did when I got onto the bar is I took my blazer off and produced a full bottle of Havana Club out of my sleeve.
Nice.
And there was a moment, there was a gasp, because everyone was like, oh my god, what just happened? Because no one else did that. Everyone was like, where was that? And for a magician, that doesn't seem much. It's not the most technical trick, but to a lay audience and to that audience, they did not expect that at all.
Exactly. It's like, say, you know, when you go to magic conventions and there's magic, and suddenly you get a juggler, and you're like, wow, what a breath of fresh air. It's the same thing when you see flair bartender after flair bartender doing the act, and then suddenly you see someone like yourself doing magic on there. It's like, wow, we didn't expect that. And that's a wonderful thing to do. That's perfect. So where could people see you then at the moment?
Currently, I'm working at Lakeside Quay in Thurrock. My home store is Liverpool 1. And then to find me, my bartending page is at Magic Bartender on Instagram.
We'll leave all that down. We'll leave your Instagram down in the link below. So if you want to see, perform. Well, do you perform in bars now? Not really.
Yeah, I do. I combine my magic and my bartending. I literally posted a clip last night of a fly video, in fact.
I can't wait to watch this. So I'm so glad. We met outside and I said, do you want to come in and do this interview? And you were so kind to say, yes, let's do this. So thank you for doing this.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
Well, I hope they enjoyed it too, and I'm sure they did, because you spoke about a lot of tips and pointers that I think you would definitely take something out of, which is great. Excellent. So thank you for watching this. I hope you like and comment on this video if you do. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.